Polina grew up in a small village surrounded by green hills, flowing streams, and tall trees that danced whenever the wind blew. From childhood, she had heard people speak about God. She attended church with her family, sang hymns, memorized Bible verses, and prayed before meals. But deep inside, Polina knew that knowing about God was not the same as truly walking with Him. As she grew older, life became more difficult. Her family went through financial struggles, some of her closest friends disappointed her, and several of her dreams seemed to fall apart. Polina often wondered why God allowed her to experience so much pain. One evening, after receiving another discouraging message, she went outside and sat beneath an old mango tree. The night was quiet, but her heart was troubled. God, she whispered, I've heard people say that you are near, but I feel so alone. Please show me that you are truly with me. There was no thunder, no bright light, and no voice from heaven. Yet as Polina sat in silence, she felt a gentle peace settle over her heart. For the first time in many months, she stopped trying to understand everything and simply surrendered. Lord, she prayed, I do not know where this road will lead, but I choose to trust you. That prayer became the beginning of Polina's true walk with God. Every morning, she woke up before sunrise to pray and read her Bible. At first, it was difficult. Sometimes she became distracted, and sometimes she felt as though nothing was changing. But she continued. Gradually, the words of Scripture became personal to her. When she felt afraid, she remembered that God had not given her a spirit of fear. When she felt rejected, she remembered that she was accepted and loved by God. When she felt weak, she remembered that God's strength was made perfect in weakness. Polina began to understand that walking with God did not mean she would never face problems. It meant she would never face them alone. One year, Polina lost an opportunity she had prayed for over a long period of time. She had been certain that God would open the door, but it suddenly closed. She cried for several days. Lord, I trusted you, she said. Why did you allow this to happen? Although she did not receive an immediate answer, Polina continued praying. Months later, another opportunity came, one that was far greater than the first. It placed her in a position where she could help young women who were struggling with fear, rejection, and hopelessness. Then, Polina understood that the closed door had not been punishment. It had been protection and redirection. Her faith became stronger. As the years passed, people noticed something different about her. She was not the richest person in the village, nor was she the most educated, but she carried unusual peace. When others panicked, Polina prayed. When people insulted her, she responded with kindness. When someone was in need, she gave whatever she could. Young women began visiting her home for advice. How do you remain peaceful when life is difficult? One of them asked. Polina smiled and answered, Peace does not come from having a perfect life. It comes from knowing that God is present in every season. Another woman asked, Have you never doubted God? Polina replied, I have doubted many times, but every time I became weak, God remained faithful. My faith is not strong because I have never struggled. It is strong because God has carried me through every struggle. Polina's greatest test came when her mother became seriously ill. She prayed day and night, believing God for healing. Some days, her mother improved. Other days, her condition became worse. Polina was frightened, but she refused to abandon her faith. She prayed, Lord, I still believe you are good, even when I do not understand what you are doing. During that season, Polina learned that faith was more than asking God to change circumstances. Faith was trusting his character when circumstances did not change quickly. Her mother eventually recovered, but Polina herself had also been transformed. She became more patient, compassionate, and spiritually mature. Years later, Polina stood before a large gathering and shared her testimony. My walk with God has not always been easy, she said. There have been mountains, valleys, tears, delays, and unanswered questions. But through every season, God has been faithful. I once thought walking with God meant always knowing where I was going. Now I understand that it means holding His hand, even when I cannot see the road ahead. The people listened quietly as she continued. God did not remove every storm from my life. Instead, He taught me how to find peace in the storm. He did not answer every prayer the way I expected. Instead, He taught me to trust His wisdom. He did not make me perfect. He patiently changed my heart, one day at a time. From that day forward, Polina's story encouraged many people. Those who felt forgotten found hope. Those who had lost faith began praying again. Those who were afraid learned to trust God. Polina continued walking with God, not only in church, not only during good times, and not only when prayers were answered. She walked with Him in joy and sorrow, in abundance and lack, in certainty and confusion. And wherever Polina went, her life carried one clear message. A person who walks with God may not know every step ahead, but they will never walk alone.